Hey, whoever suggested Witch Hazel, just know you the real MVP. Because yeah, no, this skin smooth, baby. We got to shave again, but I am in a way better position now than I was like at the beginning of the week. That Witch Hazel is coming through wonderfully. So I just got back from Tron Ares, and that was a fucking experience. I really feel like ever since Dallas Buyers Club, Hollywood has had this weird obsession with attempting to force Jared Leto upon us. And I don't know if Jared Leto knows, but he works so much better as a supporting actor than he does as a lead actor. He does There's this thing that I've noticed with Jared Leto where if he's dealing with a character that finds it difficult to relate with other human beings, like his character will kind of like look off in the distance. Like it's quite simple, isn't it, to be a human living amongst a program. The sensation of rain is quite fascinating. Or if you were to jump over to Blade Runner 2099, what I am searching for is the human soul, the ability to finally arrive at the same point as God. It's like this weird looking off into the distance because I don't know whether or not he thinks that that type of mannerism is what someone who divorces themselves from their emotions or who wants to show that that person doesn't really know how to interact with a normal person would be in real life, because I've noticed it pop up in literally all of his movies. Morbius was like another one, which is I'm suffering from a condition that has deteriorated my body, and this might be the only chance for me to live a normal life. He always fucking does that, and I don't know why, and it irritates my soul. But what we have here is noise. That's all this film is. This film is noise. If you were going into this film thinking that the soundtrack is going to carry it, no. The soundtrack is going to distract the shit out of you because there are times where the soundtrack is dialed up to fucking 11, and there's something really cool happening on screen, but all you're feeling is the vibrations of those IMAX speakers shaking your seat, pulling you out of the scene as you're attempting to push back in. A good example is if you go back and you watch Tron Legacy. If you sit down and you watch Tron Legacy, my favorite song from that album is, I think it's called Solar Sailor. It's the song that plays when Sam and Flynn get on the Solar Sailor to escape the city to get out into the Sea of Simulation so that they can get back to the real world. And I don't know why, but that has always stuck with me because it starts off as like this really, really low beat in the background. It's like dun 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 dun. And then it as Flynn's explaining what went wrong with the grid, how he ended up in this situation, how Clue basically took this grand idea that he had and just turned it into an absolute nightmare. There's that part where the crescendo hits and the song takes over, where he takes out the corrupted data from the back of Quora, and he lets it go and it floats into the air and it pans away. And as it pans away, the song finally swells and it gets into like the main beat. It's like dun 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 dun, and you're following the solar sailor as it's setting off across this digital horizon. That scene has stuck with me since Tron Legacy. It is one of my favorite songs, even though it's not like the poppiest song. It's one of my favorite songs from Daft Punk's Tron soundtrack. It is fantastic. There are no songs like this in this film. Even though this film was marketed as like, hey, it's gonna be a movie where it's built around the music. It's not. There are two really cool scenes. Both of them are chase scenes. The very first scene where Ares and Athena are chasing the lady through the city, and then a further on scene where there is another sequence that's really cool that happens. When the music is playing during those scenes, it did not remind me of Tron Legacy. It reminded me of when Borderlands 2 went to Nero and started using Nero for all of their trailers. So for the remainder of the year, every single trailer from movies to other video games was using a Nero song, and typically it was Doomsday. And you just got sick of it. By the time that one of the songs kicks in for a chase scene later on in the film, or one of the songs kicks in for like a big fight scene or transition scene, you're so fucking sick and tired of the music that you're just like, you might as well just have these motherfuckers speak. Like, you might as well have just died. It's at 11. I would say you turn that bitch down to a 3 and you just let these actors act, because I'm more interested in what they are saying than I am about what you've got going on. Now that's the music. You may feel completely different about the music. There are probably some Nin fans out there that are gonna be happy as hell just to hear like the music just blasting in their ears. I was not a fan of it. It did not flow well for me personally. Now we're moving on to the acting, and we're also moving on to the story. There's a better story that could have been told, but it seems as though we have decided once again, Jared Leto has found himself in a situation where he is the lead man for a franchise that is attempting to reboot and be a spin-off of multiple movies. Because this movie very much attempts to set up that there are going to be multiple films coming in the future. I do not see that. I see this as once again a Jared Leto one and done, where this film is going to come out and it's probably not going to do that well. I tried to stay away from reviews as much as I can, but it seems though a lot of people have the same sentiments as me, which is that this film is basically mediocre. The better story that could be told, I'm gonna save that for a different video, because I have a really cool story for the direction that they could have went in regards to this film. It was really cool seeing certain new characters in play at the exact same time. It hella annoyed me that we kind of sidestepped slash sidelined slash retcon, but not really retcon the characters from Legacy. Legacy is a cult following. If this was a direct follow-up to Legacy that had Garrett Hedlund's character back as Sam Flynn, Olivia Wilde back as Cora, can't remember his name, Jeff Bridges back as Sam Flynn, I'd have been ecstatic. I feel as though that's the better story to tell. The direction that they choose to go in raises a ton of questions in regards to whether or not Tron Legacy is even still canon. That's probably going to be for a spoiler discussion, because there is definitely going to be an angry rant coming in regards to the story of this film. Action sequences, great. Definitely a cut above Legacy in regards to fighting. Fighting is more chaotic, but I also don't like random cameos that occur. And you'll understand, because there's one or two cameos that happen. There's the infamous one that you're probably aware of, and then there's the another cameo that occurs, and I'm like, if you're gonna bring him here, he should definitely be a core character or a core driving force for the story. So it's kind of annoying that you decide not to bring that person back in any way, shape, or form once the mask comes off. There's really nothing else that I can say that doesn't really fall into spoiler category, because this definitely is going to be a rant video that I'm going to have to drop talking about the story points and how it just at point shits on the Tron Legacy story, which is just annoying as hell. But it's just mediocre. The story is mediocre. The music doesn't add value to the scenes, except for one scene. The music does not add value overall to the film. Jared Leto just doesn't do it for me as a leading man. The best character was the newcomer, if I can find her name. I thought she was I thought she was really, really good. Hold on, we're gonna get her name for you. It's crazy when you pull up the information for this film. Oh, Greta Lee. I thought Greta Lee was great. Easily the best, easily the best person in this film. She's the character for this film that you're going to be able to connect the most with because she is the female lead for the film. She does a fantastic job. It's just that the person that she's acting across from doesn't really give her a lot to work with, but she's able to work really well with her own supporting cast, so that's a really, really good thing. The direction that it's going to be going in the future is an interesting one. If we get a sequel, I don't think we're getting a sequel, and chances are if we get anything continuing this story, it's going to be in the form of either something animated, something book-wise, or something comic book related. I'm going to go rewatch Tron Legacy. Actually, I'm also going to go rewatch the original Tron. Um, I think the original Tron and Tron Legacy do really well being sequels to each other. But Tron Ares tries to reinvent itself too much to introduce its new lead. And because it does that, it takes liberties against what Legacy had already established, where they should have just continued building on what Legacy had essentially created initially. Um I really don't know where to go with this because, like I said, there's a rant video coming in regards to this film. It is not this video, but it's definitely coming down the pipe. So this is a spoiler-free review. I did not have fun with Tron Legacy. I did not have fun with the music of Tron Legacy. It is another film that is attempting to make Jared Leto a leading man in a science fiction slash action franchise that once again falls upon its head. Is it as bad as It's Morbin Time? No, nothing will ever be as bad as It's Morbin Time. But for the most part, I when I walked out of the theater, I already didn't care. There's one cool scene that happens at the end. It's a post credit scene that I thought was really, really cool because it's a character that I've wanted to see back in Tron for a really long time, but not with the character it's going to be attached to, or not with the person it's going to be attached to. But let me know what you guys think about Tron Ares, whether or not you saw it. Comment down below. Let me know. And I'll catch you in the next one. And we're also going to be having a ton of discussion videos for this film because yeah, this film adds way more questions than answers to the fate of a lot of the characters we've been introduced to over the last few years. But catch you later. Peace.